Welcome back. All right, so preseason review time. 3 games on the board. I'm not sure that I understand why there's games being played in Quebec City if they're not going to be shown on Sportsnet. It's odd to me. But at any rate, today's game was not shown on Sportsnet, but that was a split squad for the New Jersey Devils. So let's talk about the New Jersey Devils who played against the Capitals tonight. Lindgren versus Markstrom in this one. The shots were 3-0 for the Caps, 4.5 minutes in. Kind of a quiet start, which is the Capitals' way of playing it. There was joking during the broadcast. It was monumental broadcasting, so the Washington broadcast. And, they made jokes about, it's not a trap, don't call it. The Capitals have been playing the modern version of the trap for years. Nemitz has a wrister that's blocked out. The Caps, their shot suppression on display in this one. There's a press by Washington at 7 minutes. In fact, 8.5 minutes in, the shots are up to 5-0 in favor of Washington. Things get pushed in a hole by Lindgren. The Capitals draw a power play, and shortly after it ends at 15:57, Clark puts one into the net from Thomas and Ilya Protas. Now, Clark was actually property of the New Jersey Devils not that long ago, so going against his former team. The Devils press with a minute and a half left. They're kept to the outside, and it was a pretty perfect 20 minutes through that first period for the Capitals. Second period, Hischier has a net drive that's blocked. Much better start, though, I thought, for the Devils than in the first period. Caps still not giving much of a path to the net. Meyer to Hischier at the net. That gets blocked. And then at 5:24, Leonard scores from Van Riemsdyk. He wires this one on a rush. It was the first shot of the second period for the Capitals, and it's 2-0 Washington. Caps press for another, and halfway through this game, New Jersey had managed 4 shots. 4. So it is a split squad game. You don't want to overreact to that, obviously, but 4 shots in 30 minutes, not enough. Casey misses one wide from the left circle. Devils end up drawing a power play, and it takes 7 seconds for them to score on it. Nico Hischier scores from Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt at 15:10. The Devils press with a minute and a half left, but it is 2-1 Washington after 2. Third period, early jump for the Devils. Nico Dawes in the net for them. Caps press at 3 minutes. The Devils draw a power play. That's killed off. 6.5 minutes in, New Jersey has both shots in that third period. Quiet third period. There's a near miss for Sordoff as the Capitals press, and that was after a power play for Washington had been killed off by New Jersey. Sordoff, I think, has to be on their fourth line to start the season. Hallinan has a rush chance that's held. The Devils go back to the power play. The Devils tie it. There's a goalie interference challenge, and it fails. LeChance scores this one from Jack Hughes and Nemitz at 16 minutes. That puts the Devils back on the power play, of course. That's killed off. It's 2-2. We're going to overtime. There's an early power play for the Devils in the overtime. Lindgren helps to kill that off. Chychrun fires one wide on a rush, and we go to the shootout. In the first 3 rounds, Jack Hughes and Gretzky score for New Jersey. Dubois and Leonard scored for Washington, so we go to extra shootout opportunities, and Crystal ends up getting the winner for the Washington Capitals, where they win this one in a shootout 3-2. Shots on net, 10-2 Washington in the first, 8 apiece in the second, 8-1 New Jersey in the third, and then 4-3 New Jersey in the overtime. Both teams with 22 shots in this one. Power plays, Washington 0-2, New Jersey 1-5. The hits, 30-28 Washington. Lindgren saved 20 out of 22, went the whole way. Markstrom saved 16 out of 18. Nico Dawes saved all 4 shots in relief in this one. All right, moving along. Philadelphia wasn't playing today. I don't know why I said that. Chicago's in Minnesota. Comesso versus Gustafsson in this one. Good flow early, not a lot of whistles. The only shot on net belongs to Chicago, 3.5 minutes in. The Wild press at 7 minutes. Kaiser couldn't bury one in close. We then get a power play for the Chicago Blackhawks, and they score on it. It's Nazar burying a rebound after a failed clear by Minnesota. Teravainen and Bertuzzi with the assists at 9:31. It's 1-0 Chicago. The Wild then get a power play. That's killed off. There's a press by Minnesota with 5.5 minutes left. Near miss for Aube-Kubel on a net drive as he's trying to make the Minnesota roster. Then there's a post for Donato on a rush. So it's 1-0 Chicago after 1. It easily could have been 2-0. In the second period, Nazar gets the second goal of the game. He scores on a rush. He wires one short side. Bertuzzi with the assist at 1 minute and 20 seconds. So 2-0 Chicago. The Hawks look for another. Things then get pushed in a hold by Comesso. Comesso had a very strong game for Chicago. Honestly, I don't know that I've ever seen him play as well as he played today in any preseason action in previous years, but he has to at least be giving the Hawks a little bit of pause here as to when they want to bring him up, when they feel he's going to be ready. He's not that far off. If today's game is to be believed, the Hawks draw a power play. That's killed off. Nazar then has a rush chance. That's held. Donato's denied. The Hawks with some momentum. There's more pushing on a hold by Comesso, and then at 10:48, it's Haight scoring on a net feed off the rush. Pitlick and Lambos with the assists, so that gets Minnesota on the board, cuts the Chicago lead to 2-1. Then there's a post for Pitlick as the Wild are pressing, looking for the tie. Burakovsky to Moore, that opportunity gets picked off. It stays 2-1 Chicago after 2. Third period. Wild press 2 minutes in. Bedard has a net drive chance that's saved. Hartman then fires one wide on a rush. The shots are 4-3 for the Wild at 5 minutes. Vlasic wasn't on the bench, and there may very well be an injury that we're going to talk about in upcoming videos. Hopefully this is one of those abundance of caution situations, but Chicago would score at 7:31. It's a cross-ice pass, and it's in for Donato. Donato scores from Bedard and Kaiser. I believe that's Bedard's first assist of the preseason, and that makes it a 3-1 lead for Chicago. The Hawks press for another. Kaiser has a one-timer that's caught and held. The Hawks are getting pushy again on a hold by Comesso. Clearly, if you are near the crease or poking at a goaltender, Chicago isn't going to put up with that. The Wild score. It's waved off for goalie interference. There are no challenges in the preseason. 3:28 left. There's a power play for the Wild. That becomes a 6-on-4. There was a goal line stand by Rinzel. So strong defensive play by Rinzel. Then with 2:12 left, the Minnesota Wild call a timeout. Whatever they discuss doesn't matter. At 19:01, Frank Nazar gets his hat-trick goal. Teravainen with the assist. Chicago wins 4-1 in Minnesota. Now, obviously, it's preseason, so it doesn't mean much, but I'm going to say this. I don't think Chicago's going to be a pushover this year. I think, unlike the previous couple of years, if you do not bring your A game against Chicago, you could be in trouble. That being said, shots on net, 6-4 Minnesota in the first, 9-7 Chicago in the second, 16-8 Minnesota in the third. Final shots 29-21 for the Wild. Power play Chicago 1 for 2, Minnesota 0 for 2. The hits 28-18 for Chicago. Comesso 28 saves on 29 shots. Like I said, very good game. Gustafsson 17 saves on 20 shots at the other end. So Chicago fans, what do you think of Comesso? Is there a chance he's coming up and playing for them at some point this year? Would Soderblom be the one that's gone? I would think probably, but we'll see what they do. All right, last game of the night is the Abbotsford Canucks against Edmonton. Actually, the Canucks blue line was made up of a lot of guys who are going to make the Vancouver Canucks. The forward group, though, not as much. So it's Demko versus Skinner. At 1:27, the Oilers score because every time McDavid and Draisaitl were on the ice, the Canucks were overwhelmed. McDavid jams one in from the doorstep. Draisaitl and Frederick with the assists. So early 1-0 lead for Edmonton. Good forechecking by the Abbotsford players. That Abbotsford line that they keep throwing out there looks okay. It looked okay against Calgary the other night. Looked okay here too. Shots are only one apiece at 5.5 minutes. The Oilers' press are kept to the outside. Marcus Pettersson prevents a possible goal for Nugent Hopkins. McDavid has a net drive that's defended. The Oilers press with 9 minutes left, and at 11:37, it is Frederick burying a loose puck from in close. The assist to McDavid and Draisaitl. So McDavid and Draisaitl with multiple points already. Frederick with a goal to go with his assist. So there's your line. Coots then has a net feed that's picked off. Howard is denied a 3-0 goal. 2:57 left. The Canucks get a power play that lasts 8 seconds. And 8 seconds later becomes 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. It's 2-0 Oilers after 1. Second period, early press by Edmonton. Then there's too many Oilers on the ice. So the Canucks with the power play. That was killed off. It did have some opportunities. The Canucks score, but goalie interference takes that goal off the board. Forbert defends a 2-on-1. The Oilers press after that. Emberson to Howard. Near miss at the Canucks net. And then a 2-on-0 by the Oilers. It just misfires. So doesn't end up getting to the net. It's one of those ones where during the regular season, I think that's absolutely a goal. Canucks press with 9.5 minutes left. Sherwood has a wrister. That's kicked aside. The Oilers press. Bouchard has a shot that's held. Joseph fired wide numerous times as the Canucks were pressing. P.O. Joseph probably breaks camp with the team. Probably starts the regular season on that blue line, but that was frustrating. He just kept firing it wide. 3:06 left. There's an offensive zone penalty by Kudryavtsev, and that's a problem. because guess who they throw on the ice? Yep, it takes a couple of seconds. At 16:56, Draisaitl scores from Bouchard and Nugent-Hopkins. I believe McDavid won that faceoff, meaning that puck went between 4 players in 2 seconds. So, yeah, that's not fair. 3-0 Oilers after 2. Not really a surprise, but in the third, a little bit of fight back from the Canucks. Szymanski has a rush chance that's held. Sasson then has a slot shot that's held as well. Both goaltenders I thought decent tonight. And then at 3:53, Ratu with a wrister from the right circle. I think Hronek should have had an assist on this, but that's just me. Ratu with the goal. It was a nice one. Then there's a near miss for O'Connor as the Canucks are looking for another, and shortly thereafter, Coots puts one in off Ekholm's skate. He scores from Hronek and Forbert at 4:36. With 2 goals in, 43 seconds? The Canucks are suddenly within a goal, and Coots is making it difficult for the Canucks. I'm sure the Canucks expected him to come into his first training camp, learn a few things, and then they could just send him down. I'm not sure that it's that easy now. I'm not too convinced with that at this point. Demko with some heroics to keep it 3-2. Beautiful paddle save by Demko. Honestly, most of the Oilers' shots, it felt like were really prime opportunities in this one tonight. Draisaitl would then score on a 2-on-1 rush from McDavid at 9:26. So Draisaitl, Frederick, McDavid. Draisaitl 4 points, McDavid 3 points. When McDavid and Draisaitl weren't on the ice, it was a much more evenly played game. Goalie pull happens with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left, and the Canucks score to make it a 1-goal game. Lecker-Mackey with a one-timer and a cross-ice pass. Lecker-Mackey has a very good shot. Hedl and Hronek with the assists at 16:52. So the Canucks pull the goalie again with 2:36 left. They would call a timeout as well with 1.9 seconds left, but not enough time. The Oilers win this one 4-3. I would say they held on to win this one 4-3. Shots on net, 12-6 Edmonton in the first, 12-6 Vancouver in the second, and 10-6 Vancouver in the third. Final shots, 28-24 for the Canucks. Power plays, Vancouver 0-2, Edmonton 1-2. The hits, 32-21 Vancouver. Demko saved 20 out of 24. Doesn't tell you how well he played. I thought he had a good game. And Skinner, 25 saves on 28 shots. Good when he needed to be, and the Oilers get the win. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding any of these games that took place tonight. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.